know we're real producers. It's Kristen Brindley, your publisher, and I'm here with the wonderful Todd Pede. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. He's a preferred partner and was our spotlight for our March edition. So check out his partner spotlight. And the April one just dropped as well. So check that out. And Todd, tell us your story. Like, you have been in the industry, 7.5 years, you said?
Yep.
7.5 years. And tell us about President's Club since you started, and if you always thought that you'd be a lender.
Yeah, when I first started, I made Rookie of the Year for the first time for any loan officer that was a rookie at First Home Mortgage, so it was pretty exciting. And then I've made the Leaders Club every year thereafter, so I hope to keep that going. I don't see why I shouldn't. But when I started as a loan officer, I never thought I'd be a loan officer. I did landscaping for 7 years before I did this, but I actually moved to Maryland just to work for my uncle's landscape company when I moved here from Buffalo 13 years ago. But I have an econ background or econ degree, so the lending side of things makes more sense in the grand scheme of things. When I look back 30 years from now, the weird part of my career will be the 7 years of landscaping and not the 7 years of lending. So
that makes sense. We don't always end up where we think we're going to, that's for
definitely not.
Well, tell us a little bit of a step-by-step process of how you have gotten where you are and exactly how you started.
So I started really by going to open houses and things like that. When I first started as a loan officer, I had this big grand plan that I was going to call 25 realtors a day, and that was going to be 125 calls a week, and I was going to set all these appointments, and it was all just going to work perfectly. And then after my first 10 phone calls, it was the worst 10 phone calls ever. Most people, they don't answer, they don't recognize the number, or I get their voicemail, or they do pick up and I'm totally interrupting them, and they don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, especially as a new loan officer, so it was just really awkward. So I scrapped all that and was like, I got to find something better. I work better face to face. So what I did was I started going to open houses to meet realtors. That was the best way that I could figure out to go get in front of realtors, especially when you go to real estate offices. There's a lot of gatekeepers there for good reason. Realtors are out there working hard and in their office trying to get things done, and they don't want 50 different vendors coming through or partners coming through and bothering them every time they're trying to get something done.
That makes total sense. So then you started out doing open houses. How has it evolved from there? What do you do now?
So I started as open houses, but the open houses were really kind of a bridge for me. I am very much relationship based. So even when I was going to open houses, I was doing a lot of research on the agents beforehand to try and understand what type of person they were, what they liked, what they spent time doing. So that way it was somebody that I could get along with. For me, I think, and I'm a firm believer of, we spend too much time working to not enjoy the company of the people that we work with. So, I could say just about everybody that I work with is a friend of mine, and I would gladly go, do any social event with for the most part. Go grab a drink, go have lunch, just get together and catch up. It's nice to be able to work with people like that, whereas a lot of jobs you don't get that lucky. I know when I did landscaping, I did not get to choose who I got to work with. So now I've used those relationships to create new relationships. I would use them to go that doesn't sound good, right?
So it sounds like relationships and building relationships is a major platform for you. How has that evolved? Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how you work now with your relationships?
Sure. So for me, the relationships are everything. So I take those relationships and build off of those. one agent knows another agent. They would introduce me to other agents. They would introduce me to brokers in their office. They would help me set up sponsorships. I do a lot of lunch sponsorships for like training events and things like that, just to be around other real estate professionals. So I'm a firm believer of just be around, be helpful, be fun to be around, be nice. Those are the things that are going to help create more business for yourself, but it's also going to help create business for other people, because as you network and if you're really good at what you do, they're establishing their network by helping to get to know you and the people that you know as well. So I feel like it's a two-way street, and the better you are at just going out there, meeting people, and being good at what you do, business will come for everybody that's around you.
I think that's great. And it seems like you have an attitude of gratitude. Tell us about your day-to-day a little bit. What does a typical day in the life of Todd Pede look like? I know you're a busy guy, so thanks for being with us. Yeah, tell us about it.
So I get up really early. I started getting up at 4:30, which I absolutely love. I think it drives my wife crazy, but especially even when I'm still wired at 10 o'clock at night and she's ready for bed. But I start really early in the morning, and usually I'm up, I'm doing stuff around the house, like little chores and stuff like that. I take care of my dogs, get them walked. I usually do about an hour's worth of work, and then I'll kind of float around and read articles and get my junk stuff, or my junk reading, out of the way early in the morning. But then 6:30 comes and I'm getting my kids up, helping get them ready for school. So usually by the time I hit 9:30, I'm at the office, right around 9:30. But I've already been to the gym for an hour. I've done all the stuff that everybody tries to cram in throughout the rest of their day, and is trying to figure out if they have enough time to do it, or they end up skipping some of it. I try to get all that stuff done first thing in the morning, so by the time I get to the office, I have nothing to do but the work that's in front of me.
That sounds like a very good habit to be in. So Todd, please tell us about a success habit or secret weapon that you feel has really helped you be successful.
I think for me, it's really about preparation, preparing the client, making sure that I'm prepared for the client. Some of the agents that I work with now, that has been a big thing for them. We all know that, they know that the deal is going to go through if I wrote the pre-approval letter, but they also know that there's bumps along the way. And for me, it's making sure that any of the bumps along the way we probably knew about already, or we had an idea that they might come up. So knowing how to prepare your client, like, hey, if this is gonna happen, then this is how we'll deal with it. If this happens, then we'll deal with it this way. Those are the things that I think make a buyer experience that much better and that much more enjoyable for them. Because when there's no surprises, or if the surprises come up and they already have a solution and how to deal with it, it makes everybody's life easier and makes their life more enjoyable. And for me, all this stuff, what's the secret sauce for anybody, right? Just have a good time in what you're doing, enjoy it. And the buyer's job is to enjoy it. It's exciting. They're buying a house. Like, that should be fun. It shouldn't be me calling them the day before closing, telling me to give me your bank statement because we can't get your loan approved yet, without it. And I feel like those are the things that really kill a client experience and prevent future business, whether it be with the agent or just the lender. It's, I don't know, be fun.
Absolutely. Tell us about your next 1 to 5 years. What does that plan look like, and how are you going to get there?
So I've already started on that plan. You and I have talked about that. I want to hire a full-time marketing person, and that marketing person, their job is going to be to do all the things for me that I'm really no good at. Things like social media and being able to do buyer seminars and move up buyer seminars. Like, I can create the content, I can be the one that presents it and does it all, but I'm not good at the pushing out the event. I'm not good at designing all the stuff and making it look like a marketing package should. they're also going to be able to do things like, they're going to be able to market in ways that I can't even think of, right? Like my box is limited to what I know about marketing, and I don't have time to go learn how to be a marketing person. So I want that person to push the envelope for me, and do things that I'm not thinking about, and they're going to come to me with ideas and how to assist my realtor partners. Like, how can we do things that partner up with each other, that benefit them as well as myself? So, those are the things that I think a marketing person can do, and that will help generate more business, which will help me grow my team.
No, that's great. That sounds like the 80-20 rule. Like, you're making sure that 20% or 80% of the time you are doing your 20%, like, that you should be doing, as opposed to having other people do. It's great.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Do you have any tips for working with lenders, like, say, language on contracts and things? Do you have any tips?
So I know as things get more and more competitive, you start to see offers that are like pre-underwritten, right, as opposed to a pre-approval. And the big question becomes: is a pre-underwritten letter for a buyer who's putting in an offer any better than a pre-approval? And I would say it's not any better, especially if that pre-approval is written by a really great lender. So for us, my job as a great loan officer is to be better than the underwriter. I have to be able to submit a loan package that I know is going to go to a loan, okay? Whereas a pre-underwrite is kind of, give me some stuff and I'll have the underwriter look at it, and they'll tell us that you're fine as long as you give us these 25 items. And the reality is 15 of those items have something that could lead to additional items or additional problems that they haven't investigated yet. So for me, I need to make sure that all those items have been addressed already, and we make the process as simple and seamless as possible, because that's how you make it an enjoyable process too for your clients. By the time they're under contract, now they have the home inspection, they're trying to pack up their house, schedule movers, change utilities, get me documentation. If I'm going to them with 50 items that I need as opposed to 15, and I could have gotten the other 35 back when they did the pre-approval and they had all that time, that doesn't make for a good experience, and I don't look at the offer as being any better when a seller is comparing those two. Now, if it's against somebody you might not know or doesn't maybe have a great reputation or something like that, then I could see that being a little bit better. But
that makes sense. Where do you see like the future of real estate going, and do you have any tips or pieces of advice for realtors working with lenders?
As far as the future of real estate, I think we all expect real estate to continue to do really, really well, especially as inventory is really tight. And in this area, we all feel the crunch with multiple offers and things like that. I think shortening contingencies and closing dates, we're doing a lot of that. We see a lot of it. We'll do 7-day appraisal, 7-day finance contingency, and a 14-day closing. So we'll do that in order to win some deals. And it's honestly, it's not that terribly hard to do, as long as everybody's prepared for it, and the expectation has been set at the very beginning of, okay, if you're going to do that, this is what I need you to do, and I need you to follow these dates and follow the rules, and we'll make sure that happens for you. But real estate in itself, I think the market is strong. We all know it is. There's lots of buyers out there, and hopefully we get some more sellers, so that way those buyers have houses to buy.
Amen. All right, well, you heard it here at Nova Real Producers. Thank you so much, Todd Pede, for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.